Okay, so today also we will start with VTP. We will discuss about the rest part of VTP. So last day we discussed about the VTP modes like server mode, client mode and transparent mode. Also we discussed about the VTP domain things. So today first of all we will do some practical kind of things. So yesterday only we did something like we changes the domain name of VTP. Then only those kind of things, and also we verified the VTP status things. So basically today we will change the mode and everything we will do here. So this is my topology. I am only taken 3 switches. So in this topology, so the device is connected with fast Ethernet 0 by 1. So according to the rule of VTP, the link should be trunk link. So interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. I am going to change the mode of this link to trunk link. Do so interface trunk. So I can see trunk has been formed. On the second switch also I have to make all the 2 ports to work as trunk port. So interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1, or I can do one thing, I can take directly range, interface range fast Ethernet 0 by 1 to 2, switch port mode trunk. So interface trunk, I can see 2 links fast Ethernet 0 by 1 and fast Ethernet 0 by 2 are working as trunk port on this switch. Also on third switch I have to do the same thing. So interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1, switch port mode trunk. So here also I can verify fast Ethernet 0 by 1 port is working as trunk port right now. So in this scenario, I will just do one thing. The first switch number 0, I will make this switch to work as VTP server, and the middle switch number 1, I will make this switch to work as a transparent switch, and switch 2 will be my VTP client switch. Okay. So this command you can verify all the things like the VTP version and everything. In case here directly you can see the VTP version is running with VTP version 2. In case if you want to change the VTP version to work as VTP version 1 or something, if you want to change that also you can do. The command is to change the VTP version, VTP then version, which version you want to use. So there is a limitation for VTP version in packet tracer, because packet tracer is basically for CCNA level only. That's why you are only able to see VTP version 1 and version 2. So there is no other option for VTP version 3, but in other switches and real time you will able to see the VTP version 3 also. So if you want to change the VTP version, so directly you can run this command VTP version, then which version you want to use. Okay. Then I already told you to change the VTP domain name. Here also we will use same domain name, but initially for the transparent switch I will not change anything for the domain name. The domain name will be null, because we want to test the things like if the transparent switch is in null with null domain, then also it's passing the message or not. So in my scenario what I will do, I will change the VTP domain. My VTP domain will be CCNA. So you can see the message changing VTP domain from null to CCNA. Then the rest thing, I will make this switch to work as a VTP server. Initially it will be like server only, so that's why it's showing device mode already VTP server. That's all for my VTP. Trunk link is there, VTP domain name I have configured, and the next thing, I change the VTP mode to server. So for this switch, the middle one or switch number 1, I am going to change the things like domain name I am not going to change, VTP version 2. So already it's running with VTP version 2. The next thing, I will change the VTP mode to work as transparent. So to change the VTP mode, you have this command VTP space mode, then you will see the option for client, server and transparent. Whatever option you want to use, you can choose here. So as I am going to use VTP transparent, so I am using this command. So it's showing the message device mode already VTP transparent. That means the device is working with VTP transparent mode already. Okay, because earlier I already run the command. So sometime also you will see some interviewer can ask some questions to you directly with this log. So they can directly ask you like, I am getting this kind of log, device mode already to BTP transparent. So what could be the issue? Why it's showing this kind of message? So at that moment you can answer. Okay. So I can verify show BTP status. So here I can verify the status of BTP is transparent. But one thing you will see, I didn't change the domain name, but still the domain name it's showing as CCNA. How? I didn't configure CCNA on this switch, only I changed the domain name for the first switch, but the second switch is showing the domain name. So there is a concept in BTP, like what will happen if your link is trunk link. Okay, so let me back to the parent screen. So here you can see, for example, if I am telling this is a switch, this is a switch, this is switch number 1, this is switch number 2, and you configure this link to work as a trunk link. So after that what you did, you change the domain name here, and the next thing what will happen if you are going to change the domain name or anything, BTP means if it's a trunk link, then BTP messages will start. You change the domain BTP mode to server also. So what will happen suddenly? So BTP is already enabled on this switch. This is a Cisco switch, so already BTP is enabled. Once the switch mode is server and it find a trunk link, it will start sending the BTP message. Okay. So what will happen? This switch is configured. Earlier the switch was configured as a server switch, because by default the switch will be a server switch. After that only we change the switch to work as a transparent switch, because I run the command. Till the time I didn't run that command BTP mode transparent, it was working like a server switch. So earlier what happened, as it was a server switch and it's a trunk link and it receive one BTP message. That's why what it will do, once you are running this BTP domain command, after that only BTP will be start sending the messages. Okay, so it's receiving one BTP message right now, but it don't have any information. So for the first time it's getting the message or it's receiving the message, it will try to inherit the domain name, or it will try to configure itself with the domain name from that message. Whatever domain name is available in that BTP message, from that message it will try to inherit the domain name and it will configure itself with the domain name, so that it will be ready to accept the other messages. So simply if I am telling, if a device is not configured with any domain name, means the domain name is null. In that case, if it's receiving any BTP message, if it's a server switch or if it's a client switch, then in that case only what will happen, first time they are receiving the message, they will inherit the domain name, or they will directly configure themselves with the domain name what they are receiving from the BTP message. And after that second time, at that moment they will not configure the VLAN things with them, but next time they are receiving the message, at that moment they are also configured with the same domain name, then they will accept the message and they will implement all the things like VLAN database or whatever they are receiving from the BTP message. So the same thing also happened in our scenario. So our second switch was earlier working as a server switch. That's why whenever I configure the domain name on first switch or switch number 0, it started sending a BTP message because the link was trunk link. So that's why when this switch, the switch number 1 received the BTP message, its mode was server. So server mode switch, you know, whenever they are receiving any BTP update, first of all they will implement themselves and they will pass the message to the other device. So the same thing they did. So as the domain name was null, so first of all they inherit the domain name. He configured the domain name from that message to itself. So after that he accepted the BTP update and everything. The same thing also you will see here. Here also you can see, if I am going to run the show BTP status, the domain name will be same. It will also accept the domain name. How it will accept the domain name? Because this is the server switch. Next time when it's going means receiving any BTP message, so first of all it will implement to himself. After that again it's going to pass to the another switch. So this switch, after receiving the message, again doing the same thing. First time he is receiving the message, it's going to configure the domain name. Then second time it's receiving the message, it's going to update the VLAN database. The same thing is happening here. So in this scenario, as my device mode is transparent, so if I want to change the domain name, then I can change the domain name. But once you configure the domain name on a device, then there is no way to go back to the null domain name. Okay, there is no way to means went back to the null domain name. If you want to change the domain name, you can change, like instead of CCNA ABCD I can do, but there is no option to make it blank or null domain right now, but I want to make it null. So what I will do, simply I didn't save anything on this switch. I think we saved. So one thing is there, if you want to check the configuration, it's a new switch. After that, if you did any changes and if you have saved that one or not, if you want to check, then you can run show startup config. If startup config file is there, that means you have saved the information. So what I will do, I will type write errors. What I am going to do right now, I am just going to delete the configuration from this device, and so I will shut down the links. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1 shut down. On this switch also I am going to shut down the links, because the trunk link it will send try to send the VTP message again. So again in the same case the domain name can be configured on this switch. So I deleted the configuration and I am going to reload the device. Once it's successfully loaded, after that I will see there will be no configuration, everything will be removed. Okay, so in this scenario, like I deleted all the configuration. So startup config, if I am going to check, you will see startup config is not present. That means the device is running with the default configuration only, whatever. We didn't save any kind of configuration right now. So might be, as I told you, the VTP information should be deleted. You might thinking like that, but we will see really it's deleting the VTP information or not. But still, if I am going to check the VTP information, you can see everything is there. Even we deleted all the configuration, after that also you can see the domain name, whatever we configure, the same thing what it configured, it's available here. How it's possible? So last class I told you one thing, all your VLAN related configurations, that VTP configuration will also part of VLAN related configuration, means the database of your VTP, that will be also part of, like that will also save in the VLAN.dat file with the VLAN database. So in that case, if you are going to delete the configuration also, that things will be saved in class memory with the VLAN.dat file. That will not store in the thing like that startup configuration kind of things or running configuration. It will not save all the things, like you are running the VLAN, like VLAN 1 2 3 you are going to create or something, that are also not going to store in the startup configuration. So in our scenario also the same thing happened. We deleted the startup configuration file, but still the VTP configuration is available in the VTP information or database, that is available in the class memory. So if I am doing show class here, you can see the VLAN.dat file. This is the file which is available. If I am going to delete class, then VLAN.dat file. If you want to delete any file from the class, what you have to do, in privilege mode you have to run this command delete, then you have to define the memory, okay, or location. That class I defined. After that, no need to press any space, directly you can type the file name, which file you want to delete. So I want to delete the VLAN.dat file. I have to press enter. After that, it is asking for the confirmation. You want to delete the VLAN.dat file? Yes, I want to delete. No need to type any write or save command after this. So if I am typing show VTP status right now, you can see still the VTP status is there, because one reload is needed. So now after a successful reload, you will able to see there will be no VTP information. These things are small things, but you have to keep in mind these things will be very useful for you. Okay. So again, if I am going to run the command show VTP status, you can see all the things are by default. The domain name configuration has been removed, and all the things you are seeing, that will be that are the default configuration, like the switch is in server mode and there is no domain name or null domain configured. Okay, I hope you understood what I did, the scenario what happened here. So every time you are going to delete the startup configuration, nothing related to the VLAN database things will be deleted till the time you are not going to delete the VLAN.dat file. Okay, so hope you have configured, means you have verified the things like where the VLAN database file is, VLAN.dat file is available, and how to delete that file in case if you want. You can note down these things also. So the next thing, now what I will do according to my scenario, Now this switch is a new switch, nothing is there. So I just first of all I have to configure the VTP mode to transparent mode. VTP mode transparent. Okay, and VTP version is already 2. Okay. Okay. Now if I am running the status command, you can see the mode has been changed to VTP mode transparent. And the second thing, the domain name is null right now. So earlier I just shut down the links. I'm just going to make them no shutdown so that they can exchange the VTP messages. Okay. On the first switch only, I did not shut down right now. We have to wait for 30 seconds because STP is running here. We will also understand in the STP session why we have to wait 30 seconds for that. So as of now, let's wait for 30 seconds. Okay, this switch also we can make the port no shutdown. Okay, so now we are having a trunk link, and this switch is fast number switch. I am showing you switch number 0. So you can see the thing.
सर शायद आपकी इंटरनेट कनेक्शन स्लो है शायद.
You are facing any issue?
Yeah, sir.
You are able to see the
Due
screen
to
or
internet connection, sir.
okay?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, now it's okay, now.
I am able to see your screen, but I can't hear your voice.
Now, am I audible?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So this is switch number 0 or fast switch. You can see the VTP status right now. The domain name is CCNA and VTP server mode is server. Okay. We'll see on the second switch, which is our transparent switch. Here the domain name has been changed or not. Do show VTP status. Okay. Here you can see. So once we change the VTP mode to transparent, the device is receiving the VTP message, but it's not implementing anything to itself. That's why you can't see anything. Domain name is not configured here. Nothing is there. So the next thing, if you want to test, like if I'm going to configure one VLAN, for example 150 we are configuring. So do show VLAN brief if I'm running. You can see VLAN 150 has been created here. We will see on the transparent switch it's created or not. Last day also we verified this one. Okay, there is no VLAN 150. That means the transparent switch is not implementing the VLAN information or VTP messages, whatever updates it's receiving. We will see the on the third switch. So this switch is by default in server mode. We can change the mode to VTP mode to client also. But we didn't configure any domain name. I think earlier also it inherited the domain name. Okay. So here you can see everything is there. We can change the we just change the operation mode or VTP mode to client mode. CCNA already inherited the information, and also we can verify the VLAN database here. So you can see VLAN 150 is created. So that means we we verified that our transparent switch, it's not implementing the update, but it's going to send the update to the other switch. Okay. If the domain name is null, in our case also the domain name is null. We haven't configured any domain name. Next thing, I am going to just change the domain name, VTP domain of the transparent switch to CCNP. Means the domain name is different right now. So the first switch is using domain name CCNA, second switch is using domain name CCNP, third switch is using domain name CCNA. So I will just check if the domain name is different on the transparent switch, so it's passing the VTP message or VTP update or not. So the same verification we will do on the first switch. So here you can see one message, it's already generated one log like VTP domain mismatch. Who is generating the message? DTP is generating the message. Okay. Okay, I will just do one thing. We will create one VLAN 200. Okay, here you can see the VLAN 200 is created. So we know the transparent switch will not update, implement the update. So that's why directly I am going to the client switch to check the VLAN information. To show VLAN brief. So here you can see, okay, how it possible? Okay, let me try once more. Might be just because of packet tracer it's doing the things. Okay, I think just because of packet tracer it's behaving like this, but it will not pass the VLAN information. The BTP updates will not pass from the transparent switch. Okay, so you just keep in mind the transparent switch, if the domain name is same or the domain name is null, in that case only the transparent switch will pass the BTP message to the other device. If the domain name is something else or different, so in that case it will not pass the BTP message. But here it's passing just because it's a packet tracer, might be it's a bug or something. So I am also configuring the same domain name of all the switches. So in this case it can pass the updates. Like for example, if I am going to configure VLAN 350 here, you can see the VLAN 350 will be here. 350 has been configured. The next test we will do, like on the transparent switch I am going to configure some VLAN. No VLAN will be here beside the default VLANs, you can see. So on the transparent switch I am going to configure VLAN number 10. So we will also verify, I can verify VLAN number 10 is created here. We will also verify the same thing on the client switch. But if I am going to check the client switch, there is no VLAN number 10. That means what I told you in last class, like on transparent switch, if you are going to create any VLAN or any changes you are going to do the do to the VLAN database, then there will be no BTP message the transparent switch will generate. The same thing also happened here. The transparent switch is not sending any kind of update. So that means the transparent switch is working like a standalone switch, but only the thing it's doing, whatever it's receiving, it's not implementing to itself, only it's going to pass if the domain name is same or the domain name is null. Okay, so now we will just discuss about the BTP password. BTP password is nothing, just if you want to make secure your BTP updates, like in your scenario, for example, if I am telling, so like this is a switch number 1, switch number 2, switch number 3. So for example, what you are going to do, simply if you are configuring like this and someone knows the BTP domain name, because if someone is going to run the command show BTP status, someone got the access of the device anyhow and going to run the command show BTP status, simply it can see the domain name. And if someone is going to add another switch, okay, another switch here and going to connect with a trunk link to this switch, okay, so what will happen, it can configure the domain name, the same domain name what you configured after checking, and it can also receive the all the VLANs whatever you have configured on this switch. This is your server switch. In this switch, what VLANs you are configured, the all things are also configured here, and if it's going to connect the switch with the same domain name, then also the same thing will be configured here. That should not be happen. We should have some security on that. If you want to add some security, you can do one thing. You can configure BTP password on all the switches. The switches who configured with the same BTP password, they can only receive the update and implement to themselves. If a device is not configured with the same password what you are using with your server switch or other switches, that device will unable to receive the BTP update. So we will simply do the practical for this. So on server switch I am going to configure BTP password. The command is BTP password, then whatever password you want to configure. I have configured the password to 1234. After that, if I am going to run the show BTP status, you can see there will be no information for the password. Do show BTP password. If you are going to run this command only, it will show you the BTP password. You can also make this one secure, no problem for that. So I configure the VTP password for the first switch only, and other switches there is no VTP password. Now I am going to configure one one VLAN here. That VLAN will be 11. I will see on my client switch the VLAN has been configured or not. You can see if I am running the command show VLAN brief, there is no VLAN number 11. That means the VTP password, if I am going to verify do show VTP password, then no VTP password has been configured. That's why the device is denying the password. So I am going to configure the VTP password same 1 2 3 4 here. Do show VTP VLAN brief. Now you can see VLAN 11 has been configured. But one thing is there, might be you also got it, like on the first switch only I configured the password, on the third switch only I configured the password, but the middle switch still it's not configured with the VTP password, still it's passing the update. So that means what? If a device is configured with transparent switch, that transparent switch also can pass the update if the password mismatch is happen or it's not configured with any password. Okay, if the password is wrong on the transparent switch, still the transparent switch can also pass the update. It will only check the things like domain name is what is my domain name. If my domain is null, it can pass the update. If my domain name is same with the VTP status VTP update domain name, then it can pass the update. This thing only it's going to check, nothing else it will check. So if the transparent switch is having a wrong password also, in that case also it can pass the VTP update. Okay. So after that, if I am going to run one more command, that verification command, show VTP status. So you can see one more thing, its configuration revision number is there. Now we will try to understand what is configuration revision number, or simply you can say CR number. It is a 32-bit value. Means the number, what will be the CR number or configuration revision number, that number will be a 32-bit value. That means the number can be ranged from 0 to till more than 4.5 crore. The next point, it will be in decimal format. So it will increase by 1 whenever any changes happen to the VLAN database. So whatever changes can happen to the VLAN database. So if you are going to do any changes, like you are going to create VLAN, or you are going to delete VLAN, or you are going to rename VLAN, or something you are going to do, any changes you are going to do the VLANs. So what will happen? The VLAN.dat file will be rewrite with the new information. Like if you are having a old VLAN.dat file, that means you are having some VLAN, you are going to add one more VLAN, like VLAN number 10 you are going to add or something. So after that, what will happen? Your switch will rewrite the VLAN information or rewrite the VLAN database file. So that means some changes happen to your VLAN.dat file. So after that only what will happen? The CR number also will be increased by 1. If you are going to do any changes, the CR number will be increased by 1. Any changes to the VLAN database. It never change.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
In decimal format, what will be the range of CR number?
Decimal format means normal numbers from 0 to up to,
from 0 to
more than 4.5 crore. 2 to the power 32 value will be there. So you can find the range.
Okay.
It it never change
Right.
on transparent switch. If you are going to do any changes to the VLAN database.dat file on your transparent switch, still the CR number will be 0. So by default, till the time you are not going to do any changes to your VLAN database, value will be 0 on all the switch. So after that, what will happen? If you are going to do any changes, after every changes, the value will increase by 1. So the next thing and the important thing about the CR number, whenever switch sent a VTP update, it will send with the CR number. So that means if a switch is sending, a server switch is sending a VTP update, then in that update it will also send the update the CR number. What CR number it's saving, it will update. The receiver switch okay itself. So that means what, whenever the server switch is going to send a update, like for example if it's a server switch and this is a client switch. So on server switch initially the CR number was 0, and what we did, we add one command VLAN 10. So after that the CR number increased to 1. It will increase by 1. So that's why I run this command VLAN.10. I created one VLAN. After that the modification to the VLAN database happened. So that's why the CR number also increased by 1 according to our statement. So after that what will happen, whenever the server will send an update to other switches, it will also send with the CR number. What is the CR number? So in the client switch initially also the CR number will be 0. So on the client switch initially the CR number was 0. So whenever it's receiving the update, it's going to verify the CR number, and if it's finding the CR number is higher than the CR number value is higher than the CR number value of itself, then only it will update itself. Else what it will think, if the CR number is same or lower than its own CR number, then in that case the switch will think this is a old update. So only if in the case the CR number which available in the VTP update is higher than the CR number of the switch, then only the switch will accept the update, else it will discard the update. So, and the other things what I told you, it will be in decimal format, it will increase by 1. Okay, this is the thing. So we will verify this thing first. So this is my server switch. You can see the configuration revision number is 5. Why it's 5? Because we did changes 5 times on our switch. Like what kind of changes we did? We created some VLANs. You can see 5 VLANs we created. 5 times I run commands like VLAN 11, VLAN 150 like that. So that's why 5 times the VLAN database has been modified. That's why the CR number here is 5. So in this switch also, this is my client switch. If I am going to run the command show VTP status, So here you can see the configuration revision number is 5. So if the configuration revision number of this switch is 0 and it's receiving a update with higher CR update, CR number, so it's going to implement the update. While implementing the update, it will also update the same CR number. The one CR number, it will update its CR number with 1. The client switch will also update the CR number like 1. If it's receiving with 10, then it will also update with 10 CR number. The same thing also happened here. The client switch, after receiving the update, it check the CR number value and it also update the CR number here. So on server switch, I want to do some changes to the VLAN database. Right now my CR number is 5. So I want to do some update, some changes. So what kind of changes I can do? VLAN 11 is there. I am going to delete the VLAN. So if I am deleting a VLAN also, there is some changes going to happen to the VLAN database. So after that we will see the CR number is increasing or not. So you can see the CR number has been increased by 1, just because some kind of changes we did to the VLAN database. So I am going to create some multiple VLANs like 15, 16, 17. Okay, it's a packet tracer, that's why it's not taking. Okay, so you can also create a range of VLANs, like at a time if you are going to run a command to create 5 VLANs, so in that case also 5 VLAN will be created, but still the CR number will increase by 1. Why? Because at a time you are going to do some changes. So that means CR number can only increase in the case any changes to the VLAN database is going to happen. Okay. Still, if you are going to see the same thing on the transparent switch, so you can see the CR number is 0. So every time on the transparent switch the CR number will be 0. I am going to do some changes like VLAN 15 I am going to create here. So after that also if I am going to run the command show BTP status, you can see the CR number value is 0. So on the transparent switch every time the CR number value will be 0. Okay. So now we will discuss about 2 or 3 points which is most important for us if we configured in our VTP in our network. So it should be, we have to keep something in our mind before adding a new switch or something. So before that I will discuss about the things like how to change the CR number to 0 on this switch. So you can see if I am running this show VTP status, the CR number is 6. In case if I want to change the CR number, 2 option is there. This is the most important question for the interview also. So why I am writing server and client? Because on transparent switch every time the CR number will be 0. So we have 2 methods to change the CR number of a switch to 0. First one is changing the domain name. If you are changing the domain name of a switch, then the CR number will be 0. It will reset to 0. Second thing, by changing mode to transparent. Okay. Only 2 ways we are having. First one is we can change the domain name. Second one, we can change the mode to transparent. Okay. So first one, domain name, means what you have to do. If your device is configured with one domain name like CCNA here, so you can change the domain name, VTP domain like ABC, any domain name you can configure. After that, if you are going to check the VTP status, so you can see the CR number has been reset to 0. After that, what you can do, again you can change the VTP domain name to the old domain name, CCNA. Okay. So right now everything will be fine, and also your CR number value will be 0. So right now why it come to means the CR number is 6 right now, just because after once you configure the domain name on this switch, the client switch, it was having one old update. So that's why this client switch also send an update to this switch. That's why this switch, after receiving the update, it changed the it updated with the update, and after updating itself with the update, the CR number what was available in that update, it configured itself. This is the way to change. So this will also we will discuss. So the next thing, you can change the domain, the VTP mode. VTP mode you can do transparent. So you can see the CR value has been 0 right now. So I am just going to switch off the interface of this interface. I am going to shut down, because again if I am changing it to server or something, this device will send an update, copy of update. So that's why that device will update itself and the CR value it will change. You will be unable to see. So interface fast Ethernet 0/0 shutdown. So on this switch right now, you can see the CR value has been changed to 0. But we have made the VTP mode to transparent. Again we can back it to server. VTP mode server. So after that, if I am going to run commands, do show VTP status, you can see the CR value is 0. The mode is server, but the CR value is 0. By changing the domain name also you can do this one. Last time also we did, but other switch was having the update, old update. That's why whenever the device connected to the network, what kind of things going to happen also I am going to discuss with you. Let me make the port no shutdown first, because it will take 30 seconds more time. Okay. So what happened in our scenario right now in the first case? So whenever you are going to connect a switch to your network, if the CR value is 0, then what will happen? It will send one request, update request to the network. Once you are connecting, it will try to send a update request. That also we will discuss in VTP messages. So whenever other switch, whatever its client or server, any switch, after getting the update request message, simply it will send a copy of update, whatever the VTP update it's having, the same update copy it will send to this switch. And this switch, after receiving the update, it will check the CR number of this update, like it was 6 in our case. It will see my CR number is 0, but I am receiving with 6, then 6 is bigger than me, that's why it's a update for me. Then it will implement the update to itself. So suddenly it happened in microsecond or millisecond. So that's why after changing the domain name, when we went to see the VTP status, our CR value was 0. So what kind of problem also CR value can create, we will also see on that. So one issue is there, that's an important issue also, VTP synchronization problem. So what is synchronization here? The same thing what we did. This switch newly connected, or this switch was having a CR value of 0. It sent a request to synchronize the update information. Once it synchronized the information from the other switch, so the whole process is known as synchronize. This switch is trying to synchronize the information from VTP. So what is the problem with this synchronization right now? For example, if I am telling we are having one switch number 1, this is switch number 2, this is switch number 3 as per our scenario. We created VLAN number 10, 20, 1 is there, again 1, 10, 20 is there. On this switch also 1, 10, 20 is there. Okay. So one user is here who is connected, part of VLAN number 10. Here also one user there, part of VLAN number 20. So now the thing is like, we have a old switch and we are going to connect that switch to our network. That old switch means that was also running with VTP. Okay. So whenever we are going to connect to our VTP network, we will try to make the VTP domain name to work as same domain name. Okay. So my old switch which was having the old switch which I am going to connect, that switch was having a higher CR value. Like in this case, my switch CR value is 2. So this CR value is also 2, but I am having one switch number 4, which CR value is 5. But this switch is created with VLAN, like 1 is there, 5, 15, 25, 30, 35. This kind of VLANs has been created. So there is no existence of 10 and 20 number VLAN on my fourth switch or on my new switch. I just connected the switch. I made the port as to work as a trunk port. So in that case, what this switch will do? This switch will try to send a message or send a update, BTP update. So whenever this switch is going to send a BTP update, so in that case what will happen? It will send a update with CR value 5. So once we are connecting this switch, also try to send a update. This update will be CR value 2. So whenever this switch is going to receive the update from switch number 3, the CR number is less than its own CR number. That's why it's not going to do anything. It will just discard the update, because CR value is less means I am updated, my CR value is high. But whenever switch number 3 is going to receive the update from switch number 4, switch number 3 will verify the CR number and it will find what update I am going to receive or I am receiving from switch number 4. That's a latest update. Why? Because the CR number is higher than me. So simply it will replace its VLAN information and it will update. It will replace the VLAN.dat file, you can say, or VLAN database with the what VLAN database you are having from the switch number 4, and automatically the 5, 15, 25, 30, 35 VLANs will configured here, and 10 and 20 that will be automatically deleted, because this is another VLAN database file and I am replacing with the VLAN database file which I am going to receive from another switch. So all the switches, they will do the same thing. Again it will send the update to this switch, again this switch will send to this one. After that what will happen? All the switches, they will deleted with the VLAN number 10 and 20, and the users who connected to the VLAN number 10 and 20, they will be now part of a inactive VLAN. That means there will be no data transfer, because they are part of VLAN number 10, but VLAN number 10 has been deleted. So that's why they are part of a inactive VLAN. So the data communication or whole network can fail in that case. So this kind of scenario is known as VTP synchronization problem. Okay. So whenever we are going to connect a old switch in our network which having a higher CR value, so in that case the old switch with the higher CR value can update our whole network with its own VTP database and can replace the database which my network is using. So in that case what will happen? The users or the data communication for the whole network can be also stopped just because of inactive VLAN. So this problem in VTP is known as synchronization problem. So we have to keep in mind, so this is an important question for interview also. If anyone going to ask a question from VTP in CCNA, CCNP, CCI level also, they can ask you this question. 80% chance is there. So to get out from this problem, or the problem should not occur, so in that case we have to take some precaution. What kind of precaution we have to take? So first of all, whenever we are going to add a switch like switch number 4 I am going to add to my network, we have to change the CR number to 0. After that only we should connect the switch. This is the precaution. So we have to keep in mind, if we are going to add a old switch to our currently running VTP network, then the old switch CR number should be 0. So how to change the CR number to 0? The two steps what I told you, by changing the domain name or by changing the mode, we can achieve the things. So in this case what will happen? There will be no issue right now. So if I am going to connect the new switch with CR number 0, then what will happen? This switch will send a synchronization message or send a update request to the other switch. 3 will send a update and the CR value will be 2. So in this case it will see my CR value is 0 and I am receiving a update with CR value 2. So it will just update with the this VLAN update 10 and 20, whatever. So there will be no issue. There will be no issue with my currently running network. So this thing we have to keep in mind whenever we are going to connect a old device to our network. And this problem is known as VTP synchronization problem. Okay. So now the next thing, updater ID. what is updater ID right now? So updater ID is simple, just from which device we receive the update, okay, or who is the server who updated me. This is the information, like updater ID is just telling from whom I updated myself with the BTP information. For example, if I am telling, so this is my server number, BTP server number 1, this is a client, and this is BTP server number 2. So this is having IP address 1.1, this is having IP address 1.2. So you created, so if you are having multiple server also, in that case what will happen? If you are creating anything, if you are going to create VLAN number 10 on server number 1, it will send a update to client. Client will also update itself with VLAN number 10. It will also pass the update to another server. The server also, according to the BTP means rules and regulation, the server also, if the domain name is same, after receiving a update, they will also update themselves, like BTP VLAN number 10 they created. And also next time you are going to add another command, VLAN 20. So in this case what will happen? It will also send an update to the client. Client will implement the update, and also it will pass to the server number 1. Server number 1 also will update itself with VLAN number 20. So like this it will happen. So if you are having multiple servers, BTP servers, in that case multiple servers can also update your clients or update your servers. But if you are having multiple servers, in
Sir,
that case,
CR number is also a type of updater.
CR number,
Sir, I am saying that is updater ID, na?
no, CR number is not updater, right? CR number is just telling simply this update is latest one. That's all. Okay.
Okay.
So in this case, in our scenario, what is happening right now? So the client is receiving multiple updates, like updates from multiple servers, like server number 1 is updating sometimes server number 2 is updating. So in that case, how you can determine who updated me last time? So in that case, what will happen? When they will send a update, like server 1 is sending a update, it will send the updater ID with its own IP address. And when server 2 will send the update, it will also send with its own updater ID. Okay. After that, when client in the BTP status, like from server 1, if the client is updated, so it will show the updater ID as 1.1. Whenever it updated for the last time from the server number 2, it will show like 1.2. In our case also, if I am going to run the command, this is my client. On my client, if I am going to run show BTP status, so you can see there is no updater ID. By default, it will be 0.0.0.0 till the time you are not going to configure as updater ID. Okay. So till the time you are not configuring any updater ID, so the updater ID will be 0.0.0.0. Where we can configure the updater ID? On our BTP server. Oh. It's not taking the command, or I am running wrong command. Let me verify once the command. Okay, sorry, I also forget. So in case of VTP, how it will, there will be a election for the updater ID. Sorry, sometime also my mind is not working. Okay, let it. So in our switch, what will happen? If you have configured any loopback address, in that case, that loopback IP address, the highest loopback IP address will be your updater ID. Or if you are not having any loopback IP address, so in that case, if you are having a SBI interface, in that case the SBI IP will be your updater IP. Like in our case, for example, on server 1, if I am going to configure 1.1 on loopback 1 interface, then it will use 1.1 IP address as updater ID when it's going to send the VTP update. So we will also do the same thing. First of all, we will create one loopback address, interface loopback 1. Okay, there is no option for loopback also. This is packet tracer, that's why. Okay, we will create SBI. IP address 1.1.1.1 class 8. Okay, do show IP interface brief. We can see the SBI has been created and line protocol and status both are off. Now we will do little changes to our VLAN database, like VLAN 22 I am going to create. Now we will verify the same thing on our client switch. So now you can see the updater IJ has been updated with the loopback interface IP address what I have configured on my server switch. So updater ID, if you are going to discuss, then what will happen? The updater ID election will be the first criteria will be highest loopback IP address, if you are not having any loopback interface, then the second case, highest SBI IP. SBI means the virtual interface you are creating for a VLAN. That will also we will discuss later. Okay. So basically the use of updater ID is to identify who updated me last time. Or configuration, here you can see it's written already. Configuration last modified by which server. Okay, with time and date, everything it will show. Okay, so this is all about VTP according to the CCNA syllabus. So till the time, if you are having any question or doubt, you can ask, or if you are clear, then it's enough for today. Next class we will discuss about the other protocol, CDP and all.